Conjani. My name is Daphne Rudolph, and welcome back to another episode of Talk That Talk. Today, I have the privilege of being at the first female black-owned winery called Conjani Wine Farms, and it is owned by Carmen Stevens. So, let's talk that talk at Kunjani Wines. Um, there is this misconception that men have that our bodies are there for them. It's for their pleasure.
Yes.
When you walk into a workspace and you wear something that you felt, gives you life that day, and we're not saying that all men, but the culture of toxic masculinity allows men to have this thought of, oh, so she's looking good, she must be an easy target. Or if she's wearing
Yes, exactly.
she must be somebody who, likes to sleep with different people. And something like this actually happened to me the other day where somebody that I hadn't seen in such a long time just kind of like grazed the private parts against my ass. And it was like, oh yeah, you're looking so good, Lynn. And I'm just like, I don't know how do I just tell you that what you did was extremely inappropriate and so
And I feel like it
uncomfortable.
should be like so obvious.
Exactly.
Like that's so inappropriate.
But there's
And
no
I think
knowledge.
I had that problem when I didn't, especially in high school, and boys used to be super inappropriate with me, especially with touching. They used to touch my butt all the time, or even when I walk up the stairs. At some point because when you're a young girl, you start to learn that boys approach you in a different way
Yeah.
than you think they would, and especially in high school. And the thing is, I had to learn how to wear like a shorts underneath my dress every day, and I used to feel like so exposed walking up, even if I had a shorts on when I walked up the stairs.
Yeah.
And there's another, like when boys used to do that in high school, I used to have that mentality like boys will be boys.
Yeah.
They can't help themselves. I used to have the mentality, and now looking back, I'm just like, gross. Like, why is she here? Like, that's so gross. And I had like an incident where a boy he was drunk at a party, and he just didn't want to let go of me, and it was literally like basically sexual assaulting me, basically, I would say, or like borderline. And I didn't even not I wouldn't say I didn't know that it was happening, but I also had that, I was so brainwashed by that time already that boys will be boys,
Yeah.
that I didn't think of reporting it. I didn't think about talking about it ever. But it's only now that I've been educated on these topics that I see about like how many stuff that I've let go in the past
Yeah.
by that idea, because we also have that ingrained in us, because that's how we were taught as women, as girls.
Yeah. 100%. And I think we are taught to apologize for men because our mothers,
Constantly.
our sisters, our friends are always like, um, don't worry about it. Rather just be wees nederig. Be the
Yes.
one.
Be the lesser one.
Yeah,
Yes.
men can't
I used to
help it.
ask my mom that all the time, because I used to see the double standards between my brother and how they were treating me,
Yeah.
because he could do whatever he wanted. If I had to do the same thing, the consequences would be so different.
Exactly.
Yes, you would not even have a talk. You were like, oh, you come here at 11
Yeah.
o'clock at
Oh,
night.
it's
Oh, okay,
fine.
cool.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah, because yeah.
if I had to go, it would be a whole different story. I used to have several fights with my mom. Like, oh my word, it's crazy.
Because they know that men are
Because
trash. They know it.
yes,
And
and
they
then like
know
she's
the
just like,
rape
it's
culture.
different because you're a girl. That used to get me so angry
Yeah.
when she used to say that. And if you used to go out and there's like girls there, like a sleepover, and there were girls there, they would not care at all. But if I had to go to sleepover in high school and there were boys there, even though I wasn't interested in any of them, it did not matter. You will just not set foot
Mm.
there at all. And I think it's just a double standard. I just feel that you should keep both genders. Let them have equality, and you're gonna punish the one for one, then that's fine. I always used to tell my mom, like, if I have to be at home at 8 o'clock, I have no problem with that. But
Mm.
then he should be at home at 8 too,
Yeah.
because it's, I don't know, it's just such a double standard, and it used to annoy me a lot.
I think that is a way that we can keep women in check. And our parents
Yeah.
don't realize that even though they are trying to protect us, because they are speaking from a place of protection, because they are
For
parents,
protection, of
but
course,
they don't
yes.
realize that they are not just protecting us from, men and like
Mm-hmm.
being, potentially being raped, potentially being killed,
Mm-hmm.
mugged, anything that seriously could happen to us. They are also protecting rape culture and
For
enforcing
sure.
them, and they don't
And that
understand
cycle
that.
doesn't break
Exactly.
because they're not addressing the actual issue.
Yeah. Like I have recently, like I told my parents, when I'm riding my bike, I like to go through these little tunnels because then you can go from one area to the next.
Okay.
And everybody was just like, Lynn, please, that's not safe. You can't ride your bicycle there. Somebody can just, steal your bike or, anything could happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I can't even ride a fucking bicycle without a taser.
Literally.
And like,
It's crazy.
when are afforded these privileges that they can go and, take a jog at night just
Take a
because
jog at night,
yeah, like they
casually.
can do it, but we can't because it's like, no, you're a woman. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to dress in that way. You're not supposed to conduct yourself in that
Exactly.
way because then you are too loud. And like, if we are too proud, if we're too loud, if we're
Mm-hmm.
too angry, then it opens this, gateway of judgment and persecution. And it's like, well,
Mm.
she was asking for it. She was so confident. She wanted to wear that outfit. So how are you going to wear something that revealing and then expect people to not look at you? And it's like, what if I
Yes.
just want
Exactly. Like, I
my
dress myself.
yeah, and you respect me as a person, I respect you as a person, and we take it from there.
This guy actually told me on this topic. This guy actually told me on Facebook. I shared something. I can't remember what. And I didn't even think it's a controversial topic.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy was basically saying that, yes, I was basically saying that you should respect both types of women. You
Mhm.
should respect someone that dresses a bit more revealing, or
Yeah.
someone that chooses to cover up completely. We should all love each other, basically, I said in the post.
Yeah.
And then he went off saying that, yes, it's all nice for a girl to dress revealing. It's obviously nice to look at, but she's not wife material. Like, at the end of the day, he will look like all the F boys will want her, and not a real man would want her. So I was like, no, I'm sure there's plenty of guys that's secure in themselves
Yeah.
that wouldn't mind a girl that's wearing provocative clothing for herself, and you just gonna be chilled with that because that's who she
Yeah.
is, and that's what she chooses to do. Um, and I just don't like the fact that he said that she loses her value.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's not a car. It's not a car that, like, loses its value over time. You're talking about a human being.
You know,
That, like, triggered me when you said that.
something that I've been like thinking about recently, and I've also been seeing this research on social media, is where
Mm-hmm.
people have been discussing the concept of virginity, and where a man thinks
Yes.
that he is so important that his penis can change the worth of a woman. Like, it
Mm-mm-mm.
also implies that um, we we can't have sex with ourselves. Like only once you sleep with a man,
Yes.
then your
Then
virginity is broken.
it's considered.
Even
Yes,
as a queer
exactly.
person, you are constantly gaslit and like being like, but you can't be gay because you've not a
Yes.
man. Or how do you know that you're really gay?
Speak on it.
You know, because
Hey, come on.
you're like,
I've seen so many of those posts. It's insane. And it's also like the different in standards when a guy have sex with a woman, then
yeah,
he gets praised for it.
yeah, obviously.
There's like, no, you lose your value. Oh, where's your precious innocence?
Yes.
Like, there's none of that. None of that.
Obviously, sleeping with a woman is nothing because we are treated as these disposable toys that can
Yeah,
just be used again and again. But once a woman sleeps with a man, then that, then her worth is like all the way down. And the fact
down,
that
all the
people
way
ask,
down.
what is your number?
I was about to bring that out. Like, what's your body count? None of your business. That's my body
Exactly.
count.
Like none of your damn business. And
Period.
are you honestly gonna shame me as a woman for having consensual sex? But when I'm raped, then you want to judge me and blame it on my clothes, blame it on this and that. Uh,
Everything else. Why we late at night? All of that. Then that gets questioned.
how where can we actually go right? Like because it just seems like everything a woman does is just like no, sorry,
Everything.
you can't. It's too much, or it's too little, or it's too sexy, or it's too conservative.
The
We dismantle that on this
because
table, we dismantle the
yes,
patriarchy.
for sure. Because my I don't know, but this one guy also commented on something saying that it's too provocative. I don't know. I think there was something that I was wearing, and then it was like, "Yo, it's too much, too provocative." And then my friend was like, "But I'm seeing that you're wearing shorts
Yeah,
in your profile picture, and you don't have a t-shirt on. Like maybe be a little modest. Like maybe put on some
exactly.
long pants. Like maybe put on a shirt. We don't want to see none of that."
Yeah,
Because
like,
when
don't
they
tempt
walk
us.
around in short shorts, nothing.
Mm-mm.
It's
We can
it's
have like
crazy.
a separate episode just about this, but
Literally, it's too much. I said you can go down a whole rabbit hole with this conversation.
so just for the sake of the episode, let's continue to another topic that can be discussed here, which is gender-based violence. And as
Where do I start?
as someone that I've seen, you have been extremely vocal on social
Mm-hmm.
media about your activism about gender-based violence. And now that we've had Women's Month and we've had our
Mm-hmm.
president address us, about what he's going to be doing about gender-based violence,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is the future of this country for women?
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie
Mhm.
because I feel like we've had the whole Me Too movement, which I thought was like breaking boundaries in itself, and we had the president having a speech about future changes that's going to be made, but I'm seeing no like actions.
Mm,
I'm seeing no turning point, which is so discouraging.
mm.
And I feel like men only treat women worthy like in Women's Month, and then past Women's Month, it's like back to you being a dishwasher, which
Yeah,
is so annoying.
I
So
hate.
I'm very
Sorry, I hate the
yeah.
Happy Women's Month, Happy Women's Day posts because it's like, but you don't respect us any other time than the 9th of August. Like,
Any other
it's
time.
literally just that one day that you acknowledge me as a woman. The rest of the time, it's just business as usual.
It's insane.
So,
And
like, don't mock
um
me with your congratulations on being a woman. Like, it's a fucking
exactly.
burden to be a woman in this country.
Yeah, yes. I was walking down the street the other day and I was literally wearing what I'm wearing now, which is I usually wear a hoodie and just a long pants to work because it's comfortable. And this guy was literally catcalling me and he was like, he was following me down the road. So at that point, I was like, I'm a very strong woman, like in my personality. So I would
Mm,
quickly tell you to like basically go to hell.
mm.
In general speaking, that's just my personality. I'm very fiery, but I had to, I had to, for the first time, think to myself, because I was followed. Um, I can now be fiery and all that, but then I had this other side of me that was considering, yeah, what if you set off something in his mind
Yeah.
that, you make him angry and you provoke him, and then I've seen I don't want to be another statistic, so I kept myself humble and just kept it moving and made sure that I got to my car. But I'm thinking that is a reality for so many women, and even though that's a small incident, so many people have had it so much worse.
Yeah.
I have a friend right now that is deep in gender based violence. Like, her knuckles are literally open from defending herself
Wow.
against him. It's like really, and he's a husband, you know. And that's the other thing that I want to get to. People say when you are married to someone that they can't rape you. That's a lie. To anyone listening to this, it's a lie. Just
The
because you're dating
lie.
someone, you can still rape them. Let's just have that
On,
clear.
on that topic,
But
can we just speak about consent? And
yeah, I was about to plug
please,
that in because
please.
yes, like consent is, and if she feels just a bit of pressure from your side that she has no choice but to just do it
Mm,
after her first no, I feel like that should be it. Respect her wishes.
yeah.
If you still push, but I'm in the mood, let's
Mm,
just do it. Like, just do it right now and to
yeah.
later we can chill. Stop, she's not in the mood, get the message basically, and just leave it at that. It's really not that hard actually.
Exactly. And sometimes,
Just respect if someone says no,
no.
that's it. It's really that simple.
And sometimes it's not always a no. It's sometimes I'm not in the mood, or maybe later.
Yes, that's
Like,
exactly what
breathe,
I'm saying. And
breathe
if you keep
fucking good.
nagging, if you keep nagging after that, then just know that it's rape.
Yeah.
End of story.
I also want to just quickly touch on something that's also like a topic that's also been coming up on social media, which is the friend
Yeah.
zone, where I thought when I was younger that,
Yo.
the friend zone is a legitimate place and like shame, this guy has
Mhm.
been working. But it's these fucking good guys who are always there listening to
Yeah.
our problems, doing this, and that, and then secretly wanting to sleep with us. And that is a problem
Yes.
because you cannot just respect a woman as your friend. You can't respect her in her entirety. She needs to give you something in return for you to be her
That.
friend.
And the other thing is also men not respecting women that's not
Mm.
attractive to them.
Yeah.
That should stop. Respect all women, whether you think they are beautiful or not, whether you're attracted to them or not. It doesn't matter
Hun-
because they only seem to care if it's like the woman is like super beautiful. Then they care, and I've seen women that they are not attracted to, and then they say these awful things, and also body shaming
Yeah.
needs to stop
Anything that
while we're on it.
anything and everything that doesn't serve the patriarchy, is obviously a threat. So if you are not in the standard of European beauty, then it's like, so we don't actually need you. If your skin is, you know, 3 shades darker than what is expected,
Mm-hmm.
your skin color to be. If your hair doesn't curl in a certain way, we want
Way.
we want beach
Yes.
waves. We don't want like curly hair. We want a
Yes.
suntan. You don't want melanin. You want a pouty lip. You don't actually want
We
full
can't win.
African lips. And it's just like, well,
We can't win. And I've noticed also, even with queer women, men would still be like, "Oh, but you haven't been with a guy, so how
yeah.
would you know?" Stop that. Stop that. Like, you're not that. You're not all of that.
Mm,
I feel like men just think like the sole purpose of a woman is to be theirs, and it's not. Like, I'm my own being. I can make my own choices, and I always feel like if a guy says no regarding anything, people take his no.
yeah.
Guys take his no, and men and women take his no.
Mm,
If I say no, and I've done it plenty of times, because I don't know where I read it, and then I decided to test it. But if I say no, someone will tell me, "Are you sure?"
yeah.
No, let's just do it. Let's just it will be quick. It will be quick. Like, with me, there's time to debate things,
Mm,
where with them, I'm not debating anything.
yeah.
Like, with them, it's just like, that's the answer and it's done.
Yeah, and they obviously men have this autonomy where it's like, what I've decided as a man, their thoughts are always, it's always like a deep process that they've gone through. They think things out
Yes.
clearly. They are
Mm-hmm.
logical within their explanations. And us women, we always just respond emotionally. We don't think about our things. We don't have like long-term goals. It's always just like, but she didn't mean that. She was probably on her period when she was saying that, which means she's just like fucking
Yes,
crazy out of her head.
exactly.
Yeah, and you're like, no. Like, maybe
Or
women
when they like
fucking with
underplay
men.
your anger. Like, if I'm angry, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Don't like tell me things like, "Oh, she's probably on a period,"
Mm,
or "She's just acting crazy," because it's so, like, your anger is never valid.
mm,
Even if they've crossed the line, it doesn't matter. It's always like, "She's crazy. Oh, calm down. It's not that big of a deal."
yeah.
And it's like, really, I'm underreacting right now, but
Yeah.
you telling me to calm down is gonna make me overreact, because
Yeah.
that's gonna push me.
I think there also needs to be a consensus as to the fact that we have we are literally going through a femicide in this country, and
There's a term for it. They literally made it. It was so bad that
exactly.
South Africa made a term for it. That's crazy.
And men need to realize that when you approach a woman, and even if your intention is not, to engage with her sexually, romantically, whatever,
Mhm.
if she responds in a way that is annoyed, angry, anything that you perceive as abrasive, take it
Mm.
and go. Don't
And
be
leave
like,
it.
but what's your problem? Like, why you so angry? I didn't even do anything to you. Like, it's not that bad. It's like, no, because I have a friend who's been raped. My
Exactly.
grandmother, the
And can we
person across
speak
the
on the
road.
fact that women know a lot of girls that have been raped, and men is just like sitting there like, "No, I have good friends. My
Yeah,
friends are good." Like, I've never met one guy that have told me he knows a guy that have sexually assaulted a woman.
yeah.
I don't know any guys that have ever said that to me. The amount of girls that I know alone, that it's so much that I know. So I can just imagine, if everyone came forward that has ever been sexually assaulted, how many women that would be.
I think every one of us, because the sexual assault starts with when you are walking down the street, literally from your car to your workplace, you are sexually harassed by somebody just being like, girl, whatever. Just that moment can
Yes,
can rob you
always.
of the joy that you had planned for that day because you were feeling yourself, and then some man just decided that no, I need to objectify you. And again, then at the back of your mind, as a woman, you feel like, I knew this was going to happen to me. I should have known. I should have prevented
Yes.
this. I should not. And you feel so guilty for being like, for loving yourself, for being proud of who you are, you
Hmm.
know? Just
Exactly.
because that one person was like, hey girl, like, nice tits, or I like your hair, don't you want to
Hmm.
come here for a second? And they don't realize that that's so fucking traumatic for us because for most women, that the sexual harassment started when we were 9, 10, 11. We were harassed as young
Hmm.
girls
Hmm.
where our bodies were, oh, when you get older, you're gonna look nice and you're gonna be so beautiful.
Yes.
And it starts there.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. Have you ever been like behind a truck that's open and
Yeah,
there's like a bunch of men sitting behind it?
staring
That's the
at you.
longest like waiting time for the robot to change to green. Like it takes forever. I don't know where to look. They calling me. It's so long. It feels forever.
No, I've
I'm just
started
like,
staring
when is
back.
it gonna stop?
I've started staring back. 100%.
Yes,
So if you show
for
them that
sure.
there's even just like the slightest bit of anger or, you're
Mm.
just ferocious,
Resistance.
yeah, then they're just
Any
like,
type of resistance.
okay. So I feel like suggesting
Yes,
to anyone who
exactly.
ever goes through that again, because I'm not even going to say if you have ever, because all of us have gone through that. Um,
Period. Yes.
just bark at them. Like, just do it. Just
You'll see the facial. Like they will change. Definitely, they'll be like, "What the hell," and they will
yeah.
leave.
Yeah, my friends also told me about this. They were just driving. I think they just went to go get something at the shop, and this Bucky just decided to drive past them and just like start hooting at them, and it's just like, why? What in you felt like you just needed to do that?
There's no need.
Absolutely, really.
You do you know how crazy we would look if all the women started doing that to guys? Do
Yeah.
you know they would be like, "What's wrong with us?" They don't know how they look. You guys look absolutely ridiculous. And the crazy thing is they think they are hyping you up
Yeah.
or making you feel yourself.
It's like,
You
no.
know you guys are doing exactly the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Like if you ever wanted a chance to be with me, you've just now ruined it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if there was ever a chance even, you know, to begin with, then you just ruined it
Which they probably
right now.
didn't, but
Yes.
Yes, girl. Okay, so let's move to the first point, and that is sexism in the workplace. So we can
Mm-hmm.
discuss it whether it is overt or covert sexism, and
Mm-hmm.
also, policies that should, or, obviously it should be, but yeah, but policies that are in place
Yeah, yeah.
to protect women. Yeah, so what is your opinion on that?
I think that before we speak about the policies, which obviously should be in place, I think every workplace should have that, especially because sexism is a global issue, and that already tells you that it's a massive issue in itself. But we have to start asking ourselves as women why we don't feel the need to report it or to any like, because I think a lot of time we do experience it
Mm-hmm.
and we just either do not report it or we are so conditioned that this is just a normal part of life
Mm.
that that it's just like we can brush it off, but actually like it's a serious matter. We shouldn't brush it off anymore. And I think the policies, even though there are policies that state that this is obviously wrong behavior, it shouldn't be tolerated, this is the rules, but I think the policies should also work towards protecting women,
Mm.
because I think you can report him, and at the end of the day some of these men are like the boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you report him, nothing happens. I think there should definitely be, I don't know if we can say like maybe someone outside of the company could
Yes.
come in, because something like that, because I think that he definitely would have power within the company. And I know if I would have been in that situation, I wouldn't know where to go in the first place.
Mm.
And I think a lot of other things is like, let's say women get raped in the workplace, or they feel like they have been sexually assaulted, we don't know what the next step is to do. I think a lot of women are so uneducated about what to do afterwards, where to go. They don't know that they need to go to do a rape kit
Yeah.
immediately or within the 24-hour span. And by that time, but let's say by the third day they report the abuse or whatever that happened, the evidence is already gone.
Yeah.
So, and I can talk on and on about it, because I feel like there's so many loopholes that's just being overlooked. Um, and it's also like a topic that makes people uncomfortable. And I also know, especially for women, because I know women that have gone through this personally,
Mm.
and it's not easy for them to talk about it at all. And I obviously don't blame them. It's a
Mm.
very traumatic experience. But we need to find a way to, I don't know if it's maybe putting like safety measures in place for them to feel more safe to talk about it. Because I definitely feel that, I think at the end of the day, we are taught as women to have shame from the day we are born about anything that's not in society's box.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we are raped, it's like a type of shame that we don't put on the perpetrator, but we put
Yes.
on the victim.
Yes.
Why did you wear that short dress? Why were you in a nightgown? You knew boy was going to sleep over, and stuff like that. Or even in a workplace where you maybe wear a normal dress but it's tight fitting,
Mm.
then they would blame it on that. I think there's a lot of um, confusion about that as well, and especially because there's no clear and cut lines when it comes to like any abuse in the workplace or whatever. Like I might feel if you touch me around my waist,
Mm.
that that's inappropriate for a guy to do. Someone, he would just say, no, I was just telling you to move out of the way. Then what's gonna happen there? I think everyone thinks I feel like there's a gray area basically, and
Yeah.
that gray area needs to be addressed with firm rules.
Definitely. I think also the fact that people are not educated on what sexism
Yes,
is. They have no idea how women experience sexual harassment. So I
yes.
also think that men have this innate idea. Well, I don't think so. I know.
Mhm.
I know so. That, that
Speak your mind.
like a
Thank you so much to my guests for their absolutely wonderful conversation. I hope you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have and enjoyed the absolutely beautiful scenery of Punjani wine.